Hello, everybody. This is the late night Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And the reason being, because I miss Friday, I miss Monday, I miss today as well, and I'm going to miss Friday because we will be flying Friday. So it'll be during the live stream times, so I cannot make Friday night live stream either. But today, I just wanted to come on and say, I am very sorry. Thank you guys very much for your patience because next Monday we will be back in session. So today, this is going to be short. This is going to be brief. We're going to talk about this money. You're going to have to free yourself, ladies and gentlemen. What do I mean by that? Free yourself to do what you need to do personally. You can have a job. You can have a business. All of those can go bye-bye based on the economics. But what won't go bye-bye is if you learn how to actually do trading personally. I've avoided this for over 50 years. Well, maybe not that much, but a lot because my friends always said you can do it. But I said, no, I can't. I need to study. I don't even know what those little candles and up and down. I get up should be good, low should be down, but the candles, and they said there's patterns. And I'm like, hey, hold on. I don't need to do all that. So that's why you need to free yourself, because what happens if you get laid off? What happens if you have hard times? The one thing that's always going to be open 6 days a week minimum is some form of stock trading. It could be on the Forex market. The crypto market's open all the time, right? The metals market, gold, silver, precious metals. There's a myriad of markets that you can be in. You can be in on the Australian market, the Asian market, the London market, the New York market. Just for starters, you can make money 6 days a week if you wanted to. You don't have to, but you can do 1 or 2 days of trading or swing trading overnight for a few days, keeping your trades open. That's right. That's why you have to study. So tonight, we're going to talk about that because the stocks are the last frontier that you can do yourself, because the rich guys, that is their casino. So shouldn't you play in their casino and win? But you have to study. We're going to start with the Candle Bible Stick tonight. The PDF, it'll be in the chat room. So everybody watching this on the live stream, you'll have it. Replay, you'll have it. So your financial freedom's going to be at stake in the future. And welcome to the late night Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get All right, ladies and gentlemen, no sound this evening so far. So now I got to start off all over again and erase the first part. Okay, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Late Edition. And I'm only going to be on here shortly. And once again, it is you versus you. Because, again, I was just explaining in my long intro that nobody heard. 80% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck. We now have the third highest layoffs in history. 2008 is number two. 2009 is number one. Guess what number three is? 2025. That's right. Layoffs, 1.6 million per month in America. We don't have numbers from October because the administration have hidden the numbers. So we don't know what October is. We're assuming 1.6 again. And this could approach first or second in the standings. Think about that for a second. So if you are out here thinking everything's fine, like I told you guys before, things are crumbling underneath your feet and you need to pay attention and trading stock market style, investing in stock market, because we know the rich guys, no matter what the economy is, Great Recession, Great Depression, and in between, the stock market still goes. So you need to figure out how to make money from the stock market. And we're going to start talking about something I've avoided for years: trading. There's ways you can do it. You can trade, hey, 15 seconds a trade or something. You can do overnight. You can do a week. You can open a trade and stay in it for as long as you want, pretty much. But again, if you were like me, then you don't know anything about candlesticks. You don't know how to look at them and make any hide nor hair of it. But all I can tell you is stay tuned. This will be brief because I will give you the PDF itself. It's 168 pages. I am actually going to make a video about this, and we're going to make a ton of videos about it going step by step so it can help people in the future, because after I long retire, people will be able to use this because the stock market will never die. And again, welcome to the SSN Nation Late Night Wealthy Wednesday edition. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here this late night. But I got something else to talk about. Please share the videos because you never know who's out here looking for information. I see EV Place in the house. Let me do some business straight off because we have members here. He's a member of the channel, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. And I always have to show some special love for anybody here on the live streams. And he has a business. The reason why this is something of seriousness is because renewable energy is much needed. And this has nothing to do with your house. This has everything to do with the mode of transportation, a vehicle. But you can put it in your house too. There's a way he has for home as well. But sound systems in cars, people like to increase them, the wattage or the sound. He has renewable energy source. So your battery does not get run down, even if you're sitting at the park on a Sunday afternoon, just listening to the sounds, enjoying nature. How about running without using your battery power from your vehicle? And it's renewable as you drive your car. So Hours. That's right. You heard me. Hours of 700 watts or more. You're going to want to go see EV Place on eBay channel. So, what am I going to do? In the chat room, everybody on replay, you'll see it as well. Have the live chat showing. This is where you go. Order from that guy. Something that's totally different. I used to be a car stereo aficionado, and I wish this was out long ago. All right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we do it. All right. Now, let's see what else. It's in the chat room. Go see him. I'm in Yield Max again. I bought 500 PLTY today at 53. Oh my. That that's below what I would have purchased before. No, wait. Yeah, I think so. I think so because I was in the 50s. I just can't remember how much before I hit the eject button. 500 at 53. That's pretty good. I just worry about what happens if there's a tech crunch. And I caution everybody because I know why you're doing it because that dividend is so handsome. It's nice. It's lovely. It's like bellissimo, right? So all I'm saying is just be very, very careful and remember, put in your stop loss because we don't want to have a 53 stock price and we have, I don't know what the dividend is now, but maybe let's say it's 60%. And we cannot do 500 shares and the price all of a sudden be 47 because we can't make up that until down the line. And if it goes down, just be very cognizant of this because Yomax ETFs do not do well if the stock market goes down. That takes down the actual PLTY stock price. So be very, very careful. If you guys are going to do this, put in some stop loss, I guess. I don't like to use the word stop loss. Put in the stop so whatever the price is, you're still ahead in profits. You can always get dividends, ladies and gentlemen, but you cannot take losses of let's just say a simple thing. There's a bad market. And all of a sudden the stock price goes down $8 per share, right? And it goes to 45. Well, you got 500 shares times $8. That starts adding up. And now there's no way the dividend, that 60% dividend is not going to come back and that's not going to put a dent into what you're doing. So just keep that in mind. All right. Very well done, though. I have to admit, 53 is awfully low. And especially in light of what happened with NVIDIA today, that helped move the market and futures as well. It was a good day for stock market traders, ladies and gentlemen. You want financial freedom? I know a lot of people don't like mathematics. They don't like to study. You're going to have to do it. 55.40 right now, 71-cent dividend because now they are weekly. That's nice. That's two almost $3 a month. That's $1,500 per month, ladies and gentlemen, which is pretty good. But again, just be very cognitive of the stock price. You don't want to have a situation where you're getting like 400, what is that, $350 per week, right? But then you oft 4Gs. All right. So just keep that in mind. All right. Um, yes. Yes, it was selling at 59 2 months ago. You're exactly right. Remember, we talked about this about 2 months ago when I said, I can't remember what it was around 50s, upper 50s. I think it was 57, 58. And it was at 69, 65, 63, remember? And I said, I hit the eject at the low 60s because I said, I'm taking the profits because they give out handsome dividends. So why give back the profit from the overall stock price and the handsome dividends? Because all it takes is a bad run for months and your whatever the investment is, $20,000 investment is down to 15 and you're only getting $1,000, $1,500 per month. So that takes all those months just to try to get back even. And if there's a downtrend, which could possibly happen, then you're going to be negative way too much to make it up, unless you're going to stay in it and then hope that there's not an overall meltdown. Liquidity problem right now, ladies and gentlemen. Just think about that. All right, let's get into this because, again, oh, by the way, I forgot something else. You guys know I'm a fan of staying out of, or shall I say, the government staying out of my financial business. It's like you're put on this planet so a government can keep taxing you for the rest or your whole life. It's out of control what is happening right now. So think about it. You know what? I was going to have a car registered in another state, right? The other state that I was considering getting my car registered, they said, well, since you are not a resident and you're coming over here and you didn't purchase the car in our state, they started talking about something from Europe. VAT. I said, excuse me? What did you wait? I paid tax in the state of California. They said, yeah, and you bring in over a car trying to register in our state, you're going to have to pay the value of the vehicle a tax. I said, you're joking, right? Clearly you're joking. They said, we're not joking. You're going to have to pay like 4 or 5 G's. For what? Oh, because I'm registering the car in that state. And they get a percentage of the car value. Your money was taxed already to buy it. The state that you reside in or official residency taxed you. Now I'm going to another state and they said, we want to tax you. I said, nah, no, thank you. I'm good. I was like, seriously, I'm going to pay 4 or 5 G's? Seriously? I said, no, thank you. Not going to happen. I'll just register it where I'm from officially. I was like, this is a joke. But this is what's going on out here, ladies and gentlemen. The government, whether state or federal, is going to have to start robbing you even more. In my first round with Yomax, I've cashed out 16% profit in 6 months. Time for second round. I know EV place. I'm just a little. I have to be, straight up. I'm just a little bit weary right now of Yomax ETFs because again, they hit all of my profit numbers, right? My stops, because I wanted to make sure I took profit from my stock trade plus that because I just wanted to maintain a high rate of return, right? I could have just let it ride and take some of the dividend money and say, okay, these monies that come in every week, I can rock with that, and the stock price doesn't really matter because I'm making. But overall, if I ever want to exit, stock price wouldn't matter because having imagine a person buying PLTY at 69 or 68, and now it's 53. That's $15 per share, and if you had 100 shares, that starts adding up. If you had 500 shares, like in your case, you would be like, that's 500 times 7D, pretty close to it. You'd be like $35,000. And now you'd be at $25,000 or 27. That's what I'm worried about. Uh-huh. Exactly. He says high risk, high reward. You're right. But I was just saying for everybody that's new to Max, the fluctuations, just be careful. You know what you're doing because you've been doing this. Everybody else may not be putting in their profit pictures to make sure they take off and get their 16% in 6 months. Because basically that's what you got, I believe. I think it's somewhere like that. 16% in yeah, 6 months. I think, or maybe even 7. So it wasn't even a full year. So your actual realization is actually higher than 16%, but that's here nor there. But that's what I'm talking about. All right, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. The Candlestick Trading Bible. Okay, now I am actually going to make videos, like I mentioned, about this. And also, let me see if I can get it for you. I'm pretty. Oh, did I? Ooh, I'm hoping I did. I'm hoping I did. Oh, yes. It looks like we have something here. Here we go. Stop struggling now. Yes. There you go. In the chat room. And also, everybody here, there's a lot of people that need help. Findhelp.org. There you go. Remember those 1.6 million people getting laid off every month this year? They need help. Findhelp.org. Funding comes from state and federal governments. So there's lots of things there: job training, caregiver help, medical help, bus passes, subway passes, depending on your zip code. There's help. So put in your zip code. You'll see a lot of things that can help Americans and a lot of people. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Go to findhelp.org. Now, let's start it off because I've had this on the screen for a minute. Too long. Let's go see. Hopefully, you can hear me in the background, of course. Why is this still on? Oh, that didn't come off. Okay. All right. Let's get this on full screen because there may be some people that look at this. Invented, I don't know this guy, Munihisa Homa, I guess. Looks like an Asian guy. The most successful trader in history. Jesus, where is this immigrant when I need him? Here in the live stream. I'm sure this is a long ago, but this just tells you this is one of the reasons when people go, we don't want immigrants. Hey, this guy right here is an immigrant. If he was here in America, he might be. All right. And a lot of people use these to trade. That's right. Some of the most successful. Once you understand what you're looking at, you'll see patterns, and this pattern can repeat itself over and over to, across the board on of any anything on the stock market. All right. Now, I'm not going to get into it. I left you guys uh, the upload or the download in the chat room. So everybody on replay, you got to have the live chat. Make sure you do it. There's the link. So anybody can have this. You guys know stop struggling now means everybody can stop struggling now. You just need a little bit of money. The demo is available. In fact, you know what? A lot of people, here's what I use because I'm going to set this up for you guys. I use CoinX, right, as my broker. Okay. When I load money up, right, they hold your money and then you use it for trading on which, well, you can't use it on TradingView. So it's only on certain platforms because you're taking a little risk because it is not regulated. All right. Just keep that in mind. I'm all right with it because I'm using crypto to upload. So it's regulated. Not CoinX, but in America, you have to go through a regulated exchange in order to upload, send crypto, right? Okay. So think about this. We're going to set this up a couple of ways because I want you guys to understand the way America is going. Your bank account is at risk. Your brokerage account could be at risk. I'm not saying it would be, but I've had a situation in the United States. Banks sold off their depositors. Okay. The bank sold off their depositors and gave that to another bank. They kept the brokerage accounts. They closed down, kept the brokerage account, and said, Eric and everybody else, we'll get your money whenever we get around to it. Your money's held. Can't trade, can't take it out, held up. Some would say, okay, how long? It was only for a week, right? No, it was like 9 to 10 months, seemingly like a full year. Can you imagine somebody taking your trading account and saying, I'm sorry, you can't do anything with it? So while the stock market's going up or the stock market's going down, you taking losses or you luckily get profit, your ass is out of luck. You can't take the profit and run. You can't get out of there. Nothing. Can you believe this? People don't understand this happens in America. So this is why I'm getting to the second part. And that's why I use Coinex, by the way. It's the brokerage account, which is not regulated by the United States, but it is a little risky, right? Obviously. But never had an issue. You upload crypto, whether it's USDT or whatever. So the reason I'm saying this is twofold. Let me make sure I use my link to download. That's an affiliate link for Coinex if you like. There'll be a reason. We're going to tie this all together. So just stay tuned. I'm not going to be on here all day because I'm going to talk about this on another day. But look at all the overviews. This is 168 pages. It's incredible. Candlestick anatomy. Just as humans, candlesticks have different body sizes. And when it comes to trading, it's important to check out the bodies of the candlesticks and understand the psychology behind it. That's what you will learn in this section. That's number one. Number two, candlestick patterns. Number three, market structures. Number four, time frames. And it goes on and on and on. So all I'm going to do is they give a history, and it goes back hundreds of years. Can you believe that? When was the American stock market? I'm just asking. Okay, candlesticks are important to you for trading analysis because it's considered as a visual representation of what is going on in the market. You know what? Some people don't even use candlesticks. They use the high, the low, and the trend, which is that's doable as well. Simple as that, but you still need to understand the candlesticks because your decision could be based on, hey, I saw this pattern. Most of the time, over 50% of the time, it goes this direction. So you have to be prepared. And if you know the reason why things are going to happen, then you feel a little more comfortable because a lot of people are scared to lose money, right? So they make decisions prematurely. We don't want you making decisions prematurely. But this is what's in here, just to give you a little preview. Look at this. This is unbelievable. They go over everything. Look at this. Real body, real body. Here's the high. That's a wick that comes up. That's high. It closes here. Open there. Low, all of this. You know, when I was like, oh no, I'll just keep looking. All right. But if the close is above the open, so the close is above the open, that is bullish. If the close is below the open, like in this second case where it's black, it opened here, close here, that means this stick is bearish, just like the stock market. Bull run if it goes up, bear down if it goes down. That's the same as the stock market terminology, right? Not that hard. But I'm just going to go through this real close. Look at this. Candlesticks, long versus short. Now remember, buyers are pushing it up. Sellers are pushing it down. So people are selling. So there's no buying support. So it goes down. Just think of it in those terms. That'll help you out a long way to begin with. I wish somebody would have told me that. All right. And when you see this peak up here, that was a lot of either a big time volume buyer at the time. So it shot up real fast, then shoots back down. So it leaves these, what we call wicks, right? All right. So just keep that in mind. So you could have it goes up and then come down and then go up, come down for a minute, for 15 seconds, for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, but everything is happening within every second. But some people decide to be on a 5 minute, so the candle only changes every 5 minutes or 15 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours or one day. That's how it works. Everybody has their own trading style. So you don't have to copy anybody. You just figure how you feel comfortable so you can win 5, 6 out of 10 times. That's all you need. All right. And understand what you have to do to minimize your losses. It's simple mathematics, really, but you have to understand what you're looking at. All right. So I won't get into this any further because again, that's page 13. This is going to take you time. It's like a course. It's like university, ladies and gentlemen. After I started reading this and started going on the demo for MT4, right? MetaTrader 4 is what I was using because of the bot. And I go there. So I have CoinX as the broker. I loaded money in crypto to CoinX. You can do USTD, US, UCDC, USDC. So that's cheapest. They have Bitcoin, they have Ethereum, they have Litecoin, they have, I don't know, whatever else. But the fact of the matter is, that's going to lead somewhere else. So where's that going to lead? Just a minute, and I'll let you know. Because where it leads to is this. I posted up on the WhatsApp group. And the reason I say this is there's a couple of things that happen. I'm a big fan of not having government take your money. So that's why I always said get your banking offshore, get a business offshore, because any money you make outside of America, that is not tracked by America. So if you have a business that's outside, you're going to pay tax in that country, right? You could also get paid. Who would know? Again, I like that. This is why the billionaires, millionaires keep offshore accounts. They have businesses offshore because that money stays offshore and you don't get taxed as a corporation unless you bring that money onshore, right? Now you see how they avoid the tax situation. So they could be making money all over the world, but their corporation is in the Cayman Islands. Just, I'm not saying have something in Cayman Islands. I'm just saying it's in the Bahamas. I'm just, it's everywhere but inside the USA. Just saying the money you're making is not inside USA either, right? Okay. Think about that. This is why, if you want to be one of the most dangerous people in America, you have to leave money in your bank accounts. Yes, the Treasury of the United States can get a little bit of money, but why should they be getting 50, 60% of money you work your hard earned? I'm going to say it, ass off for. Now, let's go. So, once you guys understand that engulfing bar candlestick pattern, again, the bearish engulfing, again, this doesn't mean anything, but you see a short bar like this, and then all of a sudden this engulfs the whole thing. Well, when you see this pattern, you perk up a little bit because number one, it's a color change. That does mean something. Number two, it's bearish going down. What is supposed to happen? So what happened is a lot of buyers has this going. All of a sudden, it switches to where people are selling. So since people are selling, the candlestick does this. So once they wiped out, the buyer said, let me take some profit, maybe. Who knows? But then what will be the next one is the question. So after the sellers do a serious downturn that dropped down the price, what should the candle next be? I personally, after watching what's happening, it's going to be buyers all of a sudden jump in because look, this drop down here, right? So you should, more than likely, we'll see another white candle, red or green. Let's just put it this way, red, down, green, up. So you see a big red candle after you saw a nice green one, and it's the price goes, closing price is here. People are going, well, I'll buy back in. This oftentimes happens. It's not 100% of the time, but all of a sudden you'll see a white candle. Now buyers are off to the races. But you need to know what the session's high were. Just go to simple. I'm giving you guys some pre stuff, 4 hour and 1 hour. What were the highs? What were the low? Because it's generally going to stay within that. So if you see where you are positioned, you can tell if this goes white, all of a sudden another one might show up. You should have already had your eyes and ears open going, let's see what happens. Okay, just so you guys understand. All right, look at this. Up, and now they are fighting right here. The buyers and sellers. So look at this. Buyers, all the way up. What after you have a guy buying here, buying here, buying here, buying here, buying here, buying, when is somebody going to take profits? Starts to be significant. This could be 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, depending on how much you're using on just this movement right here in 10 minutes or less. So why do you think this happens? It's because people said, well, man, I look how far I've come. I've got all this profit. I think I need to take it. And then some people are still saying, well, I think it's going to still go up because, there's always Johnny come latelys. So now look, Johnny come latelys who go, man, I just got in right here. Look at all this. It's going to keep going up. Well, they don't understand what they're looking at because when they saw this right here, that should have told them a lot of people have exited from the buy and there's a whole bunch of people doing some selling, right? That's why it's so short. Let's just call it 5,000 people are buying, 5,000 people are selling. We get something like that, right? So now all these people are sitting there going, you know what? Not all, but a lot of people are going, well, you know what? Let me take some profit. And here goes this on cue. And look what happens now, because guess what starts happening, ladies and gentlemen? Let's just say traders are smart. How many of these traders that bought here, here are going to sell when this does this and does this? All these people are, not all, a large percentage of these people are gone. So now where are the buyers at? They're already sold right here, potentially right here. So when this thing starts going down, there's nobody to stop it until it gets here. But from here to here, that could be somebody's 200, 500, 1,000. That's right. Depends on how much money you're putting into your lots that you purchased. So now, look at here. We have a color change. We're going to pay attention once again. Remember, I said all these people, not all, a large percentage of these people sold. So explain how somebody's all of a sudden going to start buying. These guys aren't buying down here when it gets down here, right? Because they're sitting there taking they're not, they've already exited. The majority of people have exited. So what starts happening? You see this? Nobody's catching it. They're like sold up here, you would hope. These people definitely sold up here. So what should happen is what this is doing, a downward trend, because you would have marked this right here as the low. All these people, not all, I keep using all because to me it makes sense. You should have got your profits. There's no reason you should still be holding when it went way up here. And then when it dropped here, you're still going to still sit there and not take profit. When it dropped down to here, you still weren't going to take profit? Of course not. You're going, what am I doing? I'm going to take profit. It's that simple, right? I mean, you guys see that, don't you? So of course it's going to come down here. There's nobody, the buyers have exited, stage left. They're like, F that, man. Let me take my profit. So it makes sense that this would drop. And yes, it could still pump like that, but you should be thinking downward trend. You should not be panicking. That's all I'm trying to say. A lot of people would panic because this came back up. They would sell. So now, human nature. Oh man, I messed up. It went up here. I messed up. And they see the next thing that happens is it starts going down and then they start selling. And now this makes sense, doesn't it? Because look how low we go now. All these people, not all, I keep using all, a lot of these people are not here no more. They have vacated. They're not buying at this level. They sold up here, here, and definitely by here. So, of course, it comes down. All right. How about that for lesson number 1, ladies and gentlemen? Not bad. Not bad, I hope. Hopefully, you guys saw that. It makes sense. And then go coinex.com, use my link, right? Go download MetaTrader 4 because it's simple. It's simplistic. TradingView, people use, I mean, you could use TradingView too, but start looking at charts and you'll start seeing patterns. This is one pattern, but this is not 100% of the time. But once you start realizing what I just mentioned right now, you'll be like, oh my God, this is pretty cool. Now, mind you, I've just started studying over the last month and a half because I tried an Autobot. The Autobot was doing good at first, but I didn't know why it was doing good. All right. So just keep that in mind. Again, if you just now joined us, there's my CoinX link. Please use that to download. Yes, they have affiliates. If you sign up for CoinX, you tell your friends or whatever if you like it. I mean, again, it's not regulated. But again, there's a reason it's not regulated. All right. And the reason I'm going to go into this a little differently is because since it's not regulated, when I took money from Coinbase and I sent it to CoinX, CoinX is not regulated by the United States or any government. So if CoinX sends me money back to my USA exchange, then yes, if I was able to invest and able to make money, let's just say I uploaded 1,000, I got up to 3,000. I said, I feel good with that. Let me take out 1,500. I send back 1,500 to Coinbase. Coinbase reports the transactions. United States government can see the transactions. That says, okay, net effectively $500 profit. We want our tax money of some sort. And if you keep doing it, obviously, let's just say at the end of the year, you have 40,000, let's say, they're going to say, okay, we can see it, right? Makes sense? Now, I'm not telling you to do tax avoidance, tax whatever, but all I'm trying to tell you is if you don't send it back to Coinbase or Kraken or crypto.com or whatever, and CoinX sends it to another wallet that's not regulated by the United States or any country that you're in, what's going to happen? Some people go, oh, it's trackable, it's traceable. I said, how? Because the United States government does not run the world. So when that crypto goes out, people go, oh, you saw my transaction on the blockchain. So you know I sent money to CoinNet. Well, you don't know who it is. You just know I sent money. Or, right? You only know it's me because I'm telling you. But as an individual, you wouldn't know that. Coinbase and the government would know that. They would know who's who because we all had to sign up, register, give them our ID and all everything else, right? Once it goes to CoinX, we use that money to trade. Then when we decide to withdraw, they send it out in crypto. If I don't send it to the United States Crypto Exchange and I send it to another exchange, and by the way, Coinbase doesn't use the same crypto wallets, they do randoms. So, an example, I won 3,000. I decide to take out 1,500. I send it to another location. They issue a random. They use a random alphanumeric character that's only good for 24 hours to send to me at a different location, not under United States jurisdiction. Um, that's not trackable. So, anyhow, there is a crypto card that came out. I know the government's not going to like me, but I don't give a damn. Crypto card that came out. And this is where you go, ladies and gentlemen. Use that link. If you have Apple, it's a little funky. I'm just not gonna lie to download, okay, the app. And if you have Android, it's very easy because it says install. The Apple is a little weird because the way Apple, there's instructions, but it's just weird, I have to admit. And if you need any help, you know where to find me, right? WhatsApp group or support at stopstrugglingnow.com. So the reason I mention this is because that's a crypto card and it has a Visa logo. You send money there. That's what I would direct them. I don't have the card yet. I'll have it, I don't know, probably in a month. But the point is, it goes there. Now it's on a Visa card. Does anybody know the answer? Visa goes wherever you are. Does Visa, out of the billions of transactions a day, track or know who the individual is? Just asking for a friend. They don't. All right. If you guys don't know the story, this is why I used to play professional poker online. And we used to send money, Costa Rica, Malta, EU, uh, some countries in the EU, they had poker rooms. And United States citizens played online poker, right? They would send money, not crypto, but they would send money because that's how you load your account. You play poker, you win. You withdraw it back to your account in the USA. But because these are in other countries, they had debit cards because they were like, well, why are we? Because there's transaction fees when you wire money, right? And you have to send money electronically, there's fees. So they said, forget all that. We'll just load it on, in one case, NetTeller because it was only in EU, I believe. So NetTeller, they would load, the poker room would load the money on NetTeller. I just can go down to the bank, ATM, whatever, swipe to get my money. United States government didn't know, right? Because it's not regulated at the time. I don't know about now. This is like 12, 13 years ago. So the United States government was like, uh, we got to shut this down. So some people were saying, oh, they can't shut it down. And I said, oh, whoa, 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 wait a minute. United States can shut down transactions coming in and out of America. So what did they do? They called up Visa, MasterCard, and you know that strip on the back of your card? It actually, it's a code. There's coding in it. So they told the rest of the world, Visa and MasterCard, we want you to use our American code and you need to block transactions from these countries. So that turned off any cards. You guys get it? So when people go, it's not possible, it is possible in that situation. But they have to be able to give a code to block it. And in this case, they can't give a code because the cards are anonymous. Got it? Okay. Hopefully that helps. Okay, EV Play says uphold card, same thing. I don't know about uphold. But if they do, that's cool. All right. So just letting everybody know, I go look myself because I'm pretty sure I've heard of Uphold. They're on the they're on a few things. I don't think they say buy and sell crypto. If you're gonna do something in the United States, we'll see. But if they do, then that's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That helps you out greatly. And the only reason I am dig- diligent about this is because you guys don't understand where you live. If you've never had the United States government on your ass just because, and banks have never stole your money, then maybe you're going to be complicit. Banks in America, Bank of America, like I'm asking for where's my money. That's money back. They called the police. It was Wells Fargo. I can't remember which that. There's something when you sign me up one day. Your account for like a year and a half. They go. I said, you what? They tried to like or $35 for bucks. And I'm like, your account if it's sitting there, some nonsense like this. I said, social media did something. Statements. All right, you're breaking up, Eric. All right. Well, we're going to end this, unfortunately. Of course, the gremlins are in the house because you guys know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to look at Uphold as well. But again, I don't believe that. Oh, uh, there's one thing. There's one thing. The other card that I gave you a link for, get this. There's no KYC. So therefore, there's no name on the card. Somebody went to the bank today and they shot they did a video where they went to the bank because everybody they're testing the card, right? We always like to get testers going. They're testing the card, and of course, it works at the ATM, it works at the grocery store, Publix, it works, wherever. So then they say, "Well, I'm going to see about a cash advance." So they go down, and the teller takes the card, starts putting in the machine, but then is like, "Wait a minute, the card doesn't have a name on it. I can't give you a cash advance." So they posted this and I started laughing. I said, "Oh," I said, "I love it." You know why I love it? because that means it's not trackable, traceable to anybody, but it works everywhere else. So, just giving you guys an idea on what's happening. Okay, I'm looking at this. Uphold is a Canadian company. That means they're going to have to be registered in the United States. That also means you're going to have to do KYC. So whether they do, and I'm not saying it's not illegal. I'm not saying it's not illegal. What I'm talking about is just that what I'm trying to say is I like anonymity, and I like not having a government know where you spend your money, make your money, or anything. And as of right now, America does, and China and EU. They're tracking what you do with your money so then they can figure out if they're going to tax you or do whatever other mayhem to you financially. And that's why in Canada has 85% of people living paycheck to paycheck during the month. And in America, we're at 80% of people are living paycheck to paycheck during the month. So when you start thinking about it, this is why I'm saying you're getting squeezed. You're breaking up. Yes, that's the difference. You are getting squeezed, ladies and gentlemen, and you're going to continue to get squeezed because they know how much money Americans have. Think about it. And that's why they're trying to make things more digital than they are cash money, because cash money is not traceable, right? Think about it. Why are they going digital full speed ahead? It's so that they can actually see everything that you have and then decide how they're going to take it. That the way I look at it is try to how they're going to take it away from you. Trust me, I've been involved with the federal government, state of California, and they have stuff like taking away from citizens. All right. People don't know it because it doesn't happen to 50 million or 30 million people. It happens to 200,000, 300,000 people. That's all you need. If you break into, if you as a federal agency says, hey, I need to go to the vault in LA and we have a warrant. So, bank, here's a warrant for this individual in your vault, safe deposit boxes, vaults, everything, right? We want this person. The federal agency comes and raids it. So they have a warrant. But instead of it being for that individual person, they snatch everybody's stuff in there. Then after they snatch everybody's stuff, you know what's in could be in these boxes. It could be gold, jewelry, silver, platinum, palladium, bonds, bearer bonds, cash. The government has the nerve, after they grab everybody's stuff, prove it. Prove that this was in your safe deposit box or in your vault box. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the United States government does that. We have social media now, so you can easily Google it, but they do that. And you're sitting there like, I, it was gold, it was jewelry, it was papers, it was, stuff that you keep there because you don't want to worry about it at your house. So why would I think the federal government's going to come and raid the thing and then take my stuff when they're looking for somebody else? And now you want me to prove it's my stuff? That is crazy, especially if we're talking about cash, jewelry, trading cards or something. I mean, this is crazy. But yes, it happens, ladies and gentlemen, in America and around the world like a third world country. All right, just keep that in mind. So that's why I'm very, very, very cautious, because I know what the United States is. $100 bills are traceable on airports. That's correct. That is correct. The serial numbers for a reason. Exactly. He's right. You don't know where you live. You think you live in this land of the free, home of the brave, and all that stuff. And you're thinking, everything's cool. No, it's not cool, ladies and gentlemen, because sooner or later, the squeeze has already started. The rich are going to keep getting richer and the poor are going to keep getting poorer. And by the way, the bottom 50% of Americans have a personal wealth of $13,000. The bottom 50%, 175 million people have a net worth. Did you hear me? Of 13,000. Think about that. Okay? Think about something else. From 50% up to 90%, the personal wealth is $300,000, a little over. Okay? Think about that. The top 10%, or shall I say 90 to 99%, $3 million personal wealth. The top 1%, 15 million average personal wealth. Do you see a problem, ladies and gentlemen, yet? Numbers don't lie. So you being in the bottom 50% or bottom 90%, you better start figuring out if stuff hits the fan, what are you going to do? If you're in the top 20%, you're probably going to be okay because you already have assets, wealth. Okay. But those of you who have not made that decision, you're going to be in trouble. So, this is why we have the talk tonight, because the stock market will live forever and you will be able to make money off of it. If you can invest in a brokerage account, which you can, maybe you want to do think about your trading strategy because there's several, but I'm giving you something to study now. All right. So we're going to go. It's 1 hour. Nobody's coming to save you, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying. So just keep all of that in mind. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Check it out. There's the bank is sign up. I'm not going to talk about that much more because they have their little grand opening going on December 8th. And they've been talking about this for a few months, but it's not really official, but it's already operating. It's just that, I want to do some more research about it. And the card, just so everybody knows, they have a plastic card that's $35. Or sorry, it's $35, but they charge $10 for shipping. And the metal card, which again, I don't suggest metal cards because you can't tap, they get stuck. So I would just go with the cheapy plastic. But of course, you like hearing that ting, ting, ting as you drop it or something. Okay, fine. But the fact of the matter is, not necessary. $45 card, it works worldwide, and it's your money. Nobody can track it, trace it, do anything with it. All right? Just keep that in mind. All right, let's wrap it up. I love you guys very much. Again, I'm sorry I haven't been on the live streams, and I won't be on the live stream on Friday, unfortunately, because I'm flying. All right? So just keep that in mind. And then I'll be on live stream starting next Monday again. All right. I just wanted to do something late night tonight just so people are like, where's Eric at? And because I'm not able to really send out any messages unless you're in the WhatsApp group. And of course, unless you're on Substack as well. So I don't even know if I have is there a link for Substack? I don't even think I have that. I'll just double check. I usually have it on my phone. All right. No, I don't think I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't have it. So we'll have to deal with that on Monday of next week. But again, thank you guys so much for your support over all these years. I'll see you guys. We'll be talking about this and the card once I get some. I just need some other things I need to follow up on, but at least download and possibly be ready. You can share a link once you download and get it together. Share a link with friends, but nobody needs to buy anything right now, unless of course you want to, but it doesn't matter. And I'll have links on the WhatsApp group for when they have Zoom calls and things like that. And I'm hoping that the owner of the company comes on one of these, not on our channel, but hopefully on the Zoom call at least to answer questions. That would be helpful. And hey, if you came on the SSN Nation, we're going to be asking questions. All right. Again, thank you so much for being here. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And you know it's hard out here. And that's why we have to talk about this. Think heavily, excuse me, think heavily about your future, but above all else, be safe out here. A lot of mayhem, a lot of stress is developing. And again, people are getting laid off by the millions. That causes instant stress. So, with all that said, just make sure, no matter what you do, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.